It's last chance for Norwood here in the bottom of the ninth inning, trailing the Masters 4-1 in the first round of the Vista NAIA World Series 10-team tournament here at Lewis Clark State College. New pitcher on the mound is Andrew Klossmeyer. He's 6-1 on the season, and we were talking about in the break, Craig, he's not the closer, so kind of surprising that they're going to a non-closer in a 4-1 ball game after A.J. Work pitched so well. Obviously his pitch count was up, but obviously that, interesting, like we talked about, sometimes you go with matchups and you like what you see with a certain pitcher in a certain situation, and Klossmeyer quickly ahead 0-1 in the count.
He's making his 20th appearance, his 13th in relief, and the guy who's the closer is Tommy Kister. He's got 10 saves, and Kister is getting ready in a hurry down there for the Mustangs. Both these guys were up at the same time earlier in the ball game.
2-1 now on Isaac Matarino.
It just goes to show you it's not about stats.
Ball's roped up the middle, and that'll go through for a base hit. Gets past the pitcher, and then a diving second baseman, Sam Robeson. And Northwood has something going on here as Matarino gets his first hit of the ball game after going 0 for 3 his first time, 3 times up, and that'll bring up Jose Reyna, the right fielder.
What I was going to say is if you bring a guy in to start the inning in a 3-run game, it's a safe situation. If you would bring him in after an out, it wouldn't be. But, of course, now it is because you got a base runner out there anyway. But as we see Kister getting ready down there, again, maybe they just don't want to use him. But if he's been up twice, why wouldn't you just go to him?
Yeah, exactly. And pitches outside for ball 1 on Reyna. Reyna's 1 for 3 in the ball game. He reached in the second inning, but then grounded out twice the last time in the 7th inning. So trying to extend the inning here and get something going for Northwood. Both teams with 7 hits. Unfortunately for Northwood, they're on the short end of a 4-1 ball game here in the bottom of the ninth.
Take a look at Reyna. You get an up-close shot. His facial hair and all that looks a little bit like Mike Piazza to me.
A ball, kind of a check swing, but right to the center fielder, Caleb Halverson, who will haul it in for out number 1 here in the bottom of the ninth, and that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Estevan Hernandez, the first baseman. Hernandez has a sacrifice bunt in the second, then flew out to right in the 4th and struck out in the 7th, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Again, the winner gets a bye to Monday at 3 o'clock Pacific time, where they'll face the winner of the Missouri Baptist Faulkner number 1 seed contest, and that game will take place tomorrow. The winner of that game advances to the 3 o'clock game Monday against the winner of this ball game. The loser of this ball game will take on Sterling, Kansas tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yeah, that's never fun to have to get out here back at 9 o'clock after you're coming off a loss.
Well, that's what some coaches have talked about is, somebody's got to be the first one out, and sometimes it happens bang, bang. In less than 24-hour period, you've played 2 games and you're 0-2, and they're finding you another flight out of here.
Missouri Baptist, the 9 seed, earned that ticket to tomorrow's game at 3 o'clock after defeating Sterling 8-3 in the opening game of the tournament. So, again, though, they go up against the number 1. Your reward is you get the number 1 team in the tournament, and you have to go with your number 2 guy.
But on the other side of that equation, you've got a game under your belt at the national tournament.
That's a good point.
Faulkner doesn't.
That's a great point.
And Faulkner hasn't been in this series in quite a while, I want to say. I think it's been a few years. And so you never know. We talked about nerves before this game. I didn't really see either team show a lot of nerves out there, and both of them played calm and very well. As Hernandez fouls off the pitches to stay alive, 1-2 still. 1 out here, runner on first. Bottom of the 9th inning, Northwood trying to make something happen. Trailing 4-1, a check swing, but did he go? Yes, he did, and rung up.
And home plate umpire Tracy Rolls made the call himself, didn't even ask for help. With it, the second time today that Hernandez has been a strikeout victim.
Well, I thought he swung, but I didn't want to assume anything until I saw somebody, either the appeal or somebody say something there. But yeah, that was a pretty big check swing for out number 2, and so the Knights are down to their final out to make something happen here in the opening round of the 2013 Vista NAIA World Series. Jordan Lewis, the center fielder. He is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error, the only error by the Masters in the 7th inning. The number 9 hitter trying to keep this alive, get a rally going, and at least bring up the tying run, Logan Brumley, who waits on deck. Osmeyer took something off that pitch, and now ahead in the count 1-2. And the Masters 1 strike away from clinching the victory.
That was a great pitch right there by Klausmeyer. He just pulled the strings, looked like a yo-yo right there, and said, "Here, you can have this," but nope, no, you can't.
I think he was thinking, well, it worked the last one. Why not try it again? You know, can't say I blame him. 2-2 as that pitch is in the dirt.
Kister has stopped throwing in the Masters bullpen. He's hoping he's not needed today.
The ball's going to fall in for a base hit. Over to grab the ball is the left fielder Carkini, but not before Matarino can reach third, and the tying run will come to the plate, and we may see, back warming up again. I wasn't sure if they might pull the trigger here because the tying run now comes to the plate with runners on first and third. In Logan Brumley. Brumley is 0 for 4, but he is the leadoff hitter. He's grounded out to third twice, lined to shortstop once, and has also struck out.
Lewis gets the double with 2 outs, the 3rd hit today with a man on base. Just 3 for 16 are the Knights, but they are also just 1 for 9 with a runner in scoring position, and that's the situation here with 2 ducks on the pond.
Brumley hit .293 on the season with 6 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, and 30 RBIs. The ball gets away, and that'll bring in a run.
You don't have to get a hit with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah. And this ball game is getting more interesting by the pitch. 4-2 now, with a runner on third, the tying run at the plate, and that'll bring out Coach Monty Brooks to probably settle down his pitcher and possibly make a pitching change. We'll see what happens here.
Well, it'll be interesting, too, because all Brumley's trying to do is get aboard any way he can. He'll take the walk. I mean, I don't like the phrase a walk's as good as a hit, and it certainly isn't, but if he gets aboard with a walk, he gets the tying run aboard, and then now the wild pitch is huge, because without the wild pitch, let's say Brumley walks, the bases are loaded, it was still going to take an extra base hit to tie the ball game, but now the wild pitch opens up a bag out there and gets a run in, so if Brumley were to find his way aboard, he could then think about stealing a bag, and he's 15 out of 18, Bert, so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but the wild pitch could wind up being an even bigger mistake than it is right now.
Well, you can get ahead of yourself. That's not a problem, because between you and I, we've seen a lot of baseball, and a lot of things happen in these ball games, and you've seen teams that seem fully in control, 1 strike away, and something might get away from them as that ball's hit to the shortstop. Papa Dix, and he'll throw wild to first base, and that ball gets away. But staying at first will be Brumley. Brumley had ideas of going to second, and I think, when he hit the base, he was just trying to beat out the throw, not realizing there was going to be a wild throw. But if he had any indication where the throw was going, he'd easily be on second. But still, another run in, and now, like you said, the tying run on first base.
They're going to call that an infield hit for Brumley, and we'll get a chance to look at it again. We've seen Papadix make some good plays today, but that one he just threw wildly, and it's tough because they give him a base hit. I totally disagree, but we saw him make a better play earlier, so I want to give it air.
On that play, which Herb Romero now is stepping in the plate, I want to give an error too, just from the standpoint he did get in front of the ball and had time to set and throw, and the throw was wild, but they want to give an infield hit. That brings in the run, and count now 1-1 on Romero. Romero is 1 for 4 in the ball game. He singled and scored the team's first run in the ball game in the first inning, and then it's been all zeros until here in the 9th when Norwood's put up 2 to make it a 4-3 ball game. Again, tying run on first, and we got to talk about the winning run is at the plate.
Yeah, I think you got to give Brumley a chance to steal a bag right here. You got to try to get him in a scoring position. I know you hate to have your third out of the ball, or last out of the ball game thrown out, but it takes an extra base hit right now.
Foul back, 1-2.
If you steal the bag, now you're just asking for a base hit from a guy who's already got a couple of singles in the ball game. So A left-handed batter, makes it a little bit more difficult of a throw in my mind for the catcher, and a guy who's had pretty good success, I'd give him a chance.
We've said this before in the ball game, down to their final strike, and they kept the rally going. That pitch just misses 2-2.
And now this is a count that coaches love to run on. We'll see. Of course, if he goes 3-2, we know he's going. But it's 2-2, and now it really takes away the possibility of a pitch out, or at least the probability of a pitch out. So, see if he goes here.
Pitch it. Looked a bit outside, but still fouled off by Romero.
Really no indication that Brumley's going to take off. And the other side of it might be that they just like having the right side wide open over there.
The other thing is the closer is no longer warming up. I mean, this is Klossmeyer's game. He's given up the 2 runs here in the 9th inning, and basically they're just saying this is your game. That's lined right, but right to the shortstop, Papa Dix, who makes the catch, and that's the final out of the ball game, but not before it got interesting. Northwood put up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 9th, but falls short 4-3. Nice ball game. I mean, that was an entertaining ball game to watch today.
Yeah, early in the ball game, good pitching on both sides. A little bit of a defensive lapse by Northwood, helping the Masters out. Then they just were in control. A.J. Work gives you 8 solid innings today, and Northwood able to rally against the bullpen a little bit. Had the tying run aboard, but comes up a run short. But quality baseball, and that's really what you expect at this time of year here in Lewiston.
Northwood now falls to 43-12, and like we talked about, we'll play at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Masters improves to 44-15, and we'll play at 3 o'clock on Monday. Coming up next, we have York out of Nebraska, the number 6 seed at 44-10, playing number 3 Embry-Riddle out of Florida, 48-13. That game will start in approximately 45 minutes from now, which is approximately, about 3:15, 3:20 time in the Pacific time zone. And again, a very entertaining ball game as the Masters College hangs on 4-3 over Northwood. I want to thank my partner, and great job today, and it's always fun, and thank the booth as well for the truck and the camera work. All great job today. Again, final score today, Masters 4 and Northwood.